It's not. Okay, so first of all, then, I know Les Roberts had been very unwell for quite a long time, which is particularly sad for someone who was a competitive cyclist and runner for most of his life. It's also clear from what I've seen online that he enjoyed a pint and a cigarette, sometimes before a race and certainly afterwards, and that he was widely loved and admired by the people that knew him. Les shone at cross country when he was at Roan School on Blackheath, but by all accounts he didn't enjoy running then. It was a bit of a chore, and he took up competitive cycling, which was his passion. When he realised he wouldn't be able to make a living from it, he gave up rather on competitive sport and just enjoyed life, as we shall say, for a number of years, until later on in life he got the competitive bug again and came and joined what was then Blackheath Harriers. And Pat Cowman very kindly sent me the relevant pages from the Gazette when Les was president back in 2006-07, which recorded that when he joined his first Wednesday night run, expecting to do well, but instead, quote, 4 miles of unfamiliar trails, courtesy of a group led by those BH speed merchants Brian Stone and Colin Brand, had him grovelling and gasping. However, he went on to become a leading light of the club's senior men's track squad at 5,000, 10,000 metres and 3,000 metre steeplechase, and helped the club to rise from the middle of the Southern League to the top division of the British League in 4 years. Leslie's peak years were in the mid-80s when he won the European Masters 5,000 metres and silver in the 10k road race within the space of 3 days in 1984. The following year he went on to win the World Masters 5,000 metres, and in 1987, at the age of 44, he ran a half marathon with a 700 metre climb in just 66 minutes, and he also ran the Boston Marathon in 2 hours 23. Les continued running for the club until 1990, when, because of failing motor skills, he was no longer able to. Les remained actively involved with the club, not least as our president in 2006-07, and I'm sure we all send our deepest condolences to Hannah and the family. Moving on to sort of what didn't happen on Saturday, the South of England Cross Country Championships at Horsepath in Oxford. The event was cancelled at the last minute, so I have no race results from that. It's obviously disappointing that the championships were cancelled, but we must bear in mind that this could not have been an easy decision for the organisers to make when sort of everybody was already there on site. At the moment, I haven't seen an explanation from South of England Athletics as to what the problem was. Hopefully, that experience doesn't discourage people from going to future events, and that South of England Athletics will sort of learn from what happened and sort of do what they can to rectify things for the future. I sort of also firmly believe that the more help and assistance that event organisers get, the easier it is to get things up and running, and if something does go wrong, you've got more cover to try and deal with it at the time, but there will be occasions when things just don't happen. One event that did happen at the weekend was the European Cross Country Championships at Laken Park, Brussels on Sunday. So Mrs. President and myself dashed over to Brussels for the weekend to watch it firsthand. It was a great experience with some excellent racing. I did bump into past President Bill Foster in the team hotel, met a few other parents. It was lovely to find that parents of senior athletes still go and stand in the freezing cold in the middle of a park in winter to watch their adult children run. It was very successful championships for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They had a total of 11 medals for the team, including 7 golds, which shows the strength in depth in cross-country running in our country. As you'd expect, the racing itself was pretty well organised. The course was pretty challenging, with races over multiple laps of 1,500 metres on very muddy ground. I have to say the catering left a lot to be desired, and they should take on Trackside Cafe to organise a barbecue in future, because one burger van selling what possibly was meat in the burgers. Didn't really cut it. I'm of course very pleased to say that club member Neve Bryson Hubbard had a good run in her debut for GB and NI. She covered the 9-kilometre course in 36 minutes 27, finishing 19th overall and collecting a team gold medal with the senior women. So,
well done.
Great.
Excellent.
Other running at the weekend, parkrun. We had 45 club members running last Saturday at 12 different parkruns, and our best results were Daniel Horgan was second finisher, Graham Lugo third finisher, and Luca Maloney Pedro fourth finisher here at Bromley. Luca Ercolani was third finisher at Beckenham Place, and Lydia Marston was third female finisher at Crystal Palace. And again, Bob Minting was the furthest heathen from the clubhouse down at Exmouth in Cornwall. News of upcoming events. On next Wednesday is the Wednesday Nighters Christmas dinner with the traditional run, carols, raffle and dinner. Tickets are still on sale, are they, Karen? Alice?
We'll have to be very quick today.
Yeah, very quick. There's a few tickets left at £30 a time. So see Alice about that. Reminder that dress code is Christmas tie and jeans. Tony Pontifax asked me to let you know that there will be a bumper 300 club draw, and he has, in his words, 3 spare numbers to be included in the draw if he can find subscribers. If you haven't got a number or you want to get an additional number, let me know and I'll pass your name on to Tony. Then on Boxing Day is the fancy dress paper chase going out from Norman Park starting at 10 o'clock. If you want more information on that, contact Ian Swatton. And then in the new year, on Saturday the 6th of January, is the Kent Cross Country Championships at Brands Hatch. So the only other thing that I've got, I did mention earlier on this evening that one of the things that happens here every Wednesday night is the bit of fundraising that goes on for the club, and you might have seen me mention bonus ball. So we buy, for those of you who don't know, we buy a square on a grid, and if that number comes up as the bonus ball in the lottery draw, you win the money. Half of it goes to you and the other half goes into, or roughly half goes to the club. Now, this week's winner, whose winning number was number 30, was, I'm appalled to say, David Appleton.
Thank you very much, sir. That's very kind.
Literally luck of the draw, David. There's no skill involved. Right. I think that is all from me. I'm almost certainly forgotten something, but I think that is all from me. Does anybody else have any other news? Richard?
I'd just like to say I'd like to thank Les Roberts in his absence for getting me involved in Blackheath and Bromley, because I was in Olympus Sports when it was in existence in Bromley where the Halifax is now. And I overheard him having a conversation with Paul Barrington King about the London Marathon about 1981-ish. And they said, why don't you come and join the club? I said, well, Blackheath's too far away. He said, well, it's in Hayes. I've been thinking for years it was in Blackheath. So I went down the next week and I paid for my the trouble of going down there, because he and Ian Wilson and John Baldwin took me out for a run that nearly killed me. I clung on for dear life because I didn't know where the hell I was. It was the only way I managed to get back to the clubhouse. And then a few years later, I remember running with Les in a handicap mile, and all the way behind me, he was literally right behind me, ran me to a personal best. That's the way he immediately did what he always did at the end of the race. He ran off the track, knelt down and threw up everywhere, which wasn't surprising at the end of a 10k, because he used to run the last lap in about 60 seconds when he was about 45. So but after a mile I thought that's a bit weak, really. But Les, I have to thank him and Paul for getting me involved in the club, and I really thank them very, very much for that.
Thank you, Richard. That was very nice. If there is not anything else, I'll finish for tonight and bid you good night.